Captain Crunch and the Pilkening. Captain Crunch was feeling very lonely and wanted to go to Squidward's house, but Squidward lives really far away from Captain Crunch's cereal box. Squidward feels really sad that his best friend Captain Crunch couldn't come over. But then Pepsi Man walks up to Captain Crunch and tries to make him feel better. But Pepsi Man can only offer Pilk. So Captain Crunch takes a piece of his Captain Crunch cereal suit and throws the Pilk all over it. Pepsi Man tries to bathe in the cereal suit and splashes all the Pilk into the air. The Pilk causes pigeons to come down and start pecking and picking at Captain Crunch and his Crunchalicious body. Captain Crunch starts screaming and starts yelling, "Oh my God, I hate you, Pepsi Man, and your stupid Pilk," and runs away with the pigeons pecking at his crunch pecks. Pepsi Man looks forlorn and very sad as he stares at the mess of Pilk left behind. The torn remains of Captain Crunch scattered across the ground like pollen in the spring. He only wished to make his only friend, Captain Crunch, feel better about this situation. While his friend had so many other people in his life, Pepsi Man had no one except for him. Whenever Captain Crunch leaves, Pepsi Man is reminded of his drowning feelings of worthlessness. His vision became blurry. Tear ducts dripped Pepsi along his logo-based cheeks. "I'm sorry, my friend. I'm sorry," he sobbed. To the world, Pepsi Man was forgotten. To his people, he was nothing more than a memory. Pepsi Man, in his endless misery, decided that he would stand for this no more. Pepsi Man had decided he wanted to make a change, a Pepsi-flavored change. Pepsi Man called up Pepsi HQ and told them it was time to revive the long-lost product known only as Crystal Pepsi. A move this big would surely win back Captain Crunch's friendship, as Crystal Pepsi was always his favorite liquid to add to his morning cereal. Pulling together the marketing for such a big product revival would be so difficult. He knew he needed help. Pepsi Man then knew he must reach out to Squidward, a dear friend of Captain Crunch. Squidward answered his shell phone to call for Pepsi Man, asking him to become business partners. Squidward, having nothing else to do on his day off, agreed. Plus, if this venture paid well, he might be able to quit his job at the Krusty Krab and pursue his dream of becoming a famous clarinet player. And so, the new dynamic duo got to work immediately. Many papers were picked up, written and drawn upon, and then subsequently tossed. Some might have been eaten. Neither were sure, and the days, weeks, and months that were spent on this amazing venture began to feel like a vast temporal blur, until at last it was complete. Or was it? The remains of Captain Crunch was like pollen in the spring, but as the winds picked up, the scattered dust of Captain Crunch and his Crunchalicious body started to take form. He couldn't believe that the one person he thought was his best friend killed him in an explosion of Pilk and pigeons. He must have his revenge. By collecting all the infinity stones of the cereal verse, the nose of the Trix Rabbit, the hat of the green leprechaun of the Lucky Charms, the red bandana of Tony the Tiger, the teeth of the secretive Count Chocula, and his very own golden button of his cereal suit. Once he collected all 6 items, he could rule the cereal verse and kill his now rival, Pepsi Man. Pepsi Man had no idea what was happening, or he was hard at work working with the now ultra-famous clarinet player Squidward. And so, it begins.